All right, so as promised, here's rack 2 of 7. And I know it's taken me a little while, but I don't know, just been kind of lazy, I guess. So in this rack, this basically is what started my madness. Okay, so at the time after I had set up the first rack, I had this with all of the aquariums stacked on it, 4 10 gallons on top, 4 10 gallons on bottom. And what I did was I started with these because they're easiest access, and I got these set up. Now they weren't set up the way they are now. They were fully set up like regular aquariums for caridina shrimp with substrate. As I started filling these up and cycling them, and I pull water out instead of just throwing it away, I started filling these tanks up to use that water to clean the tanks. They become my quote-unquote utility tanks. Now I'm going to have to do some better work as far as getting better use out of these aquariums, but right now they really are just utility tanks. I have some blue neos in these bottom 3 tanks, and in this tank it's had a variety of inhabitants, but right now it has some clown killies and a couple of tiger batis, a male and a female. I've taken these out of the 20-gallon long that I'm breeding them in. This is where I started this project with the no substrate. A buried female died, I mean, like from 1 minute to the next, and as soon as I saw it happen, I pulled out the berries, put them in an egg tumbler, put them in this tank that I had a little bitty corner filter with substrate in it, testing out my theory, and all of the babies survived. Of course, this tank over here, I pulled out a bunch of these Nanansi shrimp, and they're pretty low grade Nanansis, I'll have to admit, but I'm trying to get some really nice ones and start selective breeding them. They're breeding, they're very prolific, they're very healthy, and there's tons of them. In this tank over here, this is the one that started it all, basically, with these Nanansi shrimp. I made several videos on it. Filter box method, very prolific. These are a bit darker. Some of them are pretty cool, but they're also the ones that have produced all of the red steels, or red bolts, I guess. And then of course this tank has been super fun, and it hasn't always been in this tank, but these are the black galaxies. The black galaxies, oh my goodness. I started with 3, okay? 3 shrimp, 2 males and 1 female. And I've made plenty of videos on these guys. But in this tank is all of the quote-unquote culls. There's tons of them in there. They're hard to see, bunch of babies. See, I also have substrate in this one because I don't know why. I wanted to test out if it made a difference having substrate on the bottom or not. What's also cool is out of these black galaxies, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 other tanks that I've selected out of here. One that looks kind of like a galaxy tiger pattern, really, really nice. The other one is what I'm calling like a diamondback, a galaxy diamondback. I've been wanting to buy some golden shrimp for forever, and now I don't have to. I have my own. This one right here, she's pretty. I don't want to get too much light on her because then it washes it out. But that's pretty cool, huh? All from these black galaxy shrimp. I'm not going to spend too much time down here. This was a utility tank, basically. It has been a utility tank. There's the tiger batis. And then, of course, I have some clown killies in here. Overflow for my clown killies. I have clown killies everywhere. And this tank is some blue rillies. Like I said, I haven't taken very good care of these tanks. They've been just my utility tanks, and it shows. I should have hundreds and hundreds of shrimp in here, but because I haven't taken care of these tanks the right way, the shrimp are just there. Same thing here. I should have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shrimp in there as long as I've had them in there. But I don't take care of it very well, and I need to, which I'm going to. And then again, some shrimp in here. All of these have box filters. Just set up the regular way, not with substrate in them. So that's basically this bottom setup. My main focus of this rack. It's bad fish keeping on my part, so don't do what I do, because I really have neglected these tanks, and it shows. And it's such a waste of space. I could be utilizing that water in such a better way, more efficiently, but I've chosen not to, and I focused mainly on these tanks. These PRLs come from this tank over here. Hundreds. And we'll get to this tank in another video. Thanks for hanging around. I'm glad you stuck it out with me. I know it was kind of long and drawn out, but I kind of wanted to explain really the main focus of what I'm doing over here on this second rack. And again, show you ways not to neglect your tanks. I mean, let's be honest. I wish I was perfect. I wish this place was pristine, but it's not. I'm human and I have a job. So I get to spend maybe a day or two a week, maybe, of about 5 hours a day working on my tanks. And so I'm really focused on my caridina and the project I got going on the top row. So my neos unfortunately get neglected. I'm going to change that around, get rid of the neos. I'm not get rid of them, but move them. Turn these into caridina tanks as well, because I need the space. And then it'll look much nicer. I'll do a part 2 on rack 2 some other time. Have a good one. I love shrimp. We'll see you around next time.